took the fault for what Ham had done. And so there's a lot of just stuff going back. Cursed seed lines, the serpent seed lines, and stuff like that. And then I get emails from people afraid that they have contaminated DNA and they won't get to heaven and all this. And you know what, folks? The whole part of the New Testament was that his salvation was open to all. It doesn't matter what kind of blood you have. See, in the Old Testament, it was a chosen people. It was Israel. It was the 12 tribes of Israel at that point. And then in the New Testament, he divorced Israel. And in the Old Testament, he had divorced Israel. In the New Testament, the New Covenant was for anyone who wanted to accept the Most High and follow him as their Messiah could do so. And so it was no longer a blood thing. It was no longer you have to be an Israelite or a Judean or a Jewish thing. He divorced old Israel. The New Covenant is for everybody on the face of the planet who wants to accept him, regardless if you're one of the 12 tribes of Israel or not. And so that's, people kind of get into a blind about contaminated blood. Well, the Lord said the last days would be as the days of Noah, and 99% of the population at that point had contaminated blood. And so contaminated blood is rampant. With a junk DNA that they can't explain, that's fallen hybrid blood. That's contaminated blood that we have. Junk DNA. And so that's something to consider, folks. It's not something to be afraid of, folks. Because the Lord's blood and his salvation, as long as you follow him and do as he commands, then you're his. The problem is, there's just so many millions saying they're his and they're not. They're not doing as he says. Follow simple with the basic 10 Commandments. Start there. Start with the 10 Commandments. Now, how many people are honoring the 7th day as the Sabbath day? You begin and start with the basics. And then so many people think they have to go to church to get close to God. The churches never teach you how to have a personal one-on-one relationship with the Lord, because your whole thing about being one of the Lord's and being one of his is the relationship you build with him, not with your church, not with your pastor. It's all about relationship, not buildings, folks. I had a teenager send me an email about that the other day, and she's been listening to my stuff. I'll tell you, these teens are right on it, folks. They're smack on. They're smack on. They're waking up faster than the adults are. And it's just, makes me happy to see all these kids out there. Just want to be warriors for the Lord, and just want to do what they can in the last days. And while the adults are all worried about money and the stock market and what they're going to do with all their money, and the kids just want to get ready for the disasters that are coming, and people aren't listening to them. And so it's just what we need to do, folks. To step up as the adults in the Lord's army and help everybody get prepared and get ready for what's coming and doing what the Lord wants us to do. There's famines coming. There's wars coming. Everybody's always so glued as to when the next 11's going to come. There's going to be a lot of 9/11s coming, folks. Why get so glued on trying to figure out when the next one is? Just quietly start preparing for the next one. And pray it's not in your town. Because I do believe it's going to be a dirty bomb attack, or it could be a biological attack, because it works either way. If it's a biological attack, Bush just passed legislation last month that guarantees that if there's a biological attack in America, the UN can take over. If it's a dirty nuke bomb attack, then the aliens have the dead orgone in the air that they need. They'll get that with the biological attacks too, because death is dead orgone. Dead orgone energy. And so you just can't win either way, Either agenda is going to get what they want, and that's destruction and control of the United States. So they can just hand the reins of the United States over to the Antichrist. We don't have any saviors coming like in Ron Paul. Christian crowd throwing their support behind Ron Paul like they did George Bush. And look how long it took them to realize Bush was a Satanist. And for those who haven't figured it out yet, God help them. They'll never believe a thing you say about Ron Paul. Even Bush supporters, who finally woke up and realized what an evil scumbag he is, are embracing Ron Paul. They just go from one disaster to the next. You need to do research on what this NESARA is, what the New Age is, what it is Ron Paul is aligned up with. I have that on my website. It's at NESARASucks.com. Look at HiddenCodes.com. I have articles on NESARA. If you look at my articles page at SherryShriner.com, or just go to NESARASucks.com or OmegansOrLiars.com. Stay awake, folks. Do some research. Don't fall asleep. Don't believe what the media is telling you. It's like my own mom was telling me the other day. Because older people just aren't aware of what's going on because they don't get on the internet like the younger generations do, and they rely on the television news and the newspapers to tell them what the news is. You tell them about the Mexicans running through America now, free to travel, the truck drivers, and they don't know a thing about it. You tell them about the North American Union and Bush meeting with the Canadian president and the Mexican, they don't know a thing about it. If it's not on the television, media, or newspapers, they don't know a thing about it. You get your real news on the internet, and that's why they want to shut the internet down. And that's why they're going to shut up their big mouths once they arrive. Because we're going to be touting the horns and the alarms and telling everybody who they are. But we still got some time, folks, albeit it's coming down to the wire. And you never know when a disaster is going to hit your area. So just listen for the Lord. Learn how to listen to Him in your spirit. Ask Him to teach you how to hear Him. Ask Him daily that. Ask Him to teach you the truth in all things. Ask Him how to teach you, ask Him how to build a relationship with Him. Ask Him for things, spiritual things, the things that really matter. Don't spend your time, your days and nights praying, giving Him Christmas lists. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. That are materialistic things. Ask for the spiritual things, and He'll give without measure. And He'll never say no. If you're praying amiss, you're going to get a lot of no's to your prayers. You're just going to get a lot of ignored prayers if you pray amiss. When we pray for things, we shouldn't be praying for the new car, the new house. We should be praying for more discernment, more boldness, more strength in Him. Things that matter, especially with relationship building. Pull me out of my ears, tell me what they are, teach me the truth in all things. Lead me into the truth, guide me in what I need to do. Teach me how to hear your voice in my spirit. Things like this, things that matter. Because there's nothing on this earth that matters. All this stuff's going to be destroyed. And the Lord knows what you need. And He's always going to be one step ahead of you. He always takes care of His own. I see how He works all the time, and it's just amazing. He'll know exactly what I need when I need it before I'll know. Because I don't ask Him for anything other than the spiritual things. But He takes care of me. The Lord has my back, and that's what I love about Him. He always has my back, and I just let Him worry about those things, and I just focus on what it is I need to do on earth with my last remaining days for Him. I would rather die a warrior in Him than a coward for Satan. I'd rather die for Him than live being a coward. And we don't have that much time, folks. It's coming down to the wire. People talk about 2012 and 2009, and there's just a lot of things that can happen before then, just in 2007. And so, if you're one of these people that's procrastinating, you're saying, well, we've got till at least December 2012. And what are you going to do when there's nothing in the store come 2009? You got 3 more years on earth and there's no food. Follow what the Lord tells you to do. I'm just here sounding the alarms on what's coming up, things that are going to be going down, what it is with some people, as in Ron Paul, as in agendas coming. If Hillary Clinton's president, we're going straight basically into war and martial law. And like I said, with these candidates, you're either going to get it in the face or the back, because they're all working for the same boss, folks. Till next week, everybody. I don't know what the Lord will have me talk about then, but I know definitely tonight He wanted me to talk about Ron Paul and get this information out about Ron Paul and wake up His people because they're getting deceived by it. Otherwise, I wouldn't even wasted my time. I knew I was right on it to begin with weeks ago. Some people like just confirmation, I guess. And there it is. And always ask the Lord yourself, folks. Ask Him for discernment. Ask Him to strengthen your discernment, to give you a bigger measure and boost of discernment. Anyway, until next week, folks, God bless you all.